Hello, it's Randy Rolfe from the Institute for Creative Solutions, sharing foundational concepts about vibrant health through natural living. And what I want to talk about today is having food on hand with the coronavirus going around and people trying to stay home, not going to big events or big restaurants or even big shopping malls. You might want to have food on hand that will last. And we haven't been thinking about that for quite a while because we have been very privileged to live in a very healthy community. But if you really want to load up on food that will keep you for a couple of weeks, I recommend having lots of beans and grains on hand, like rice and millet and black beans and navy beans and chickpeas. And you can make wonderful, wonderful, delicious meals from these grains together with the beans, because you get a good complementary protein from this combination. It's been the basis of most civilizations throughout human history to have grains and beans and to cook them together so that you get all the protein. Another thing you can do is sprout the beans and get fresh greens that way, so you don't have to go out to a market to get your fresh greens. And that's pretty simple. You just put the beans in a jar and cover them with water for 12 to 20 hours, and then keep them moist but not soaked, and you'll start seeing the sprouts come up. And you leave them a couple of days until they look yummy, like you would get them in a supermarket section for sprouts. And you can put oil and vinegar on them and have a fresh salad without ever going to the market. So I have always kept extra beans. Actually, I have about a dozen different beans because I feel really secure having them on hand. And then I have at least half a dozen different grains that I can soak, and you can even get sprouts from them. But they're very easy to cook. Grains cook within an hour, and beans usually take a little longer unless you're using lentils, so they only take half an hour. So you can take rice and lentils, and the classical proportion is 2 grains to 1 bean, so like 2 cups of rice to 1 cup of lentils, and cover with water, and then let them just simmer for an hour or so, and keep watch so that it doesn't get too dry, and it'll be delicious. And then you can add any spices you want, and spices last almost indefinitely. So you can load up on them to spice your foods. And then you can always throw some of the sprouts on top of them to make a complete meal that has some fresh, enzymatically active vegetables and some high quality nutrition. So make sure you have whole grain, whole organic grains, so you're not getting any glyphosates, Roundup on your grains, or any GMOs in your grains. And same with the beans. You want to buy organic beans, and all of these foods are so inexpensive. It's not a worry to spend a little more for the organic versions. So that's it about having meals that can nourish you very well for weeks on end, and have over the millennia in civilizations around the world. And also you can put lots of things in your freezer. And if you eat meat or fish or chicken, you can load up on those things and keep them in your freezer and just pull them out a day before you want to serve them. And you can always store olive oil in the cabinet, and vinegar and soy sauce, and make sure you get all of them organic. You don't want any chemical additives or any hydrogenated oils. And so don't load up on a lot of junk food. Dried fruits keep forever. Dates make a wonderful dessert. You don't need to have candy bars and junk around. So it might be a great time to educate the kids about traditional foods and how to prepare them easily while you're reading a book or playing online or watching a movie. So if you happen to be, being careful about getting out in big groups when we're having this virus rush through the country, through the world, there's some ideas about rediscovering traditional ways of nourishing ourselves. Thanks.